And you get all the behind the scenes, all the throat clearings. If the unicorn took over a vlog, the things he would tell you. Hi, welcome to another episode of The Marathon. My name's Mare, and today we are going on a date, and I'm gonna bring you along. It is the first date we have gone on in...
Right before Christmas?
This is our first date of the year?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Do we think? Not in January?
When have we been child-free for both of us?
January, February? Nope.
Sick.
And the book came out. I think this is our first date of the year, and it's August 7th. And he has put together a surprise wine tour, all very COVID-friendly locations where everyone is taking precautions. Do we have to wear masks at any of them, do you know?
Not when we're drinking, but probably
of course.
with us.
Yeah. And yeah, I thought I would bring you with. Sorry for this. Does anyone else, can you relate? You have this basket at the bottom of your stairs that just like perpetually gets filled with stuff that needs to go upstairs, but you just walk past it every time. Thomas is actually away. He has been with Jeremy's parents. Today is Friday, and I dropped him off on Monday, and I pick him up tomorrow. And it was a decision that I grappled with for a very long time. And they too were like, is he gonna come? Is he not gonna come? Is he gonna come? They live about 5 hours away. And like every decision we're all making in 2020, it was very difficult, but sorry, that's really messy behind me. That's much nicer. I just decided, well, I trust them. I trust them with Thomas's life. I trust that they're taking everything seriously. I know they are, so that's not the concern at all. They just live in a much more populated area. But I thought about it a lot, and this is my first break I've had since last October, and I needed it. And I'm very worried that this will be the last break I have for a while. And so for my mental health and for him too, like he loves going to see them. They always plan such fun things. He's been eating like a king. They've been doing all these like really amazing things. So I'm feeling good that he went, and I have definitely appreciated the rest. And you know, it's very important to me that he has a relationship with his grandparents and his extended family. That's always been super important to me. Anyway, ramble. It was hard to decide, but then I decided, and I'm feeling good about it, just in case you were wondering where Thomas is. And if you're also struggling with like, feels like every single decision we're all making right now is like so layered. Do I go to the grocery store? Which grocery store do I go to? Do I see this person? Where have they traveled? 2020 is weird. Like, what's with the saying hindsight is 2020? Because what is that? Like, no one told us. Anyway, so he's been gone, and this week I have been doing maybe like 2 hours of work a day, maybe 3, but then spending a lot of time on this couch. We have burned through a lot of Scandal, played some Skip-Bo, some Mexican Train. That's pretty much what we've been doing. A few errands here and there, but like a lot of sleeping and resting and just having actual respite. I have learned through lots of fault of my own how important respite is. So that's what I've been doing this week. And today we're going on a little wine tour, just the two of us. And when I say we are going on a wine tour, I will be testing the wine and tasting the wine. He has packed like a beautiful vegan charcuterie for us to enjoy along the way. That also includes, you know, super classy things that I add to it, like jujubes. And I thought it would be fun. Thought it'd be fun to bring you along because, well, there just hasn't been a lot of opportunities to bring you along on anything this year. And yeah. So I'm gonna bring you the first winery we're going to, owned by a marathoner. And I think the cidery I think the woman who owns it is also a marathoner. If not, she's good friends with one. Do any of you play this? Mexican Train? This is the, you know, version for when you've had too many drinks. We bought this travel version, which if I can still find it, we bought it on Amazon. I'll link it below, for when we were going to Vegas last year. Because they're smaller, but we also liked that there was no dots. So, you know, when we'd had a couple Vegas-sized cocktails at the pool, this makes it much easier. And we never went back to the dot ones. In fact, I gave that version to my mom. Small correction. Our last date was in February for our 1-year anniversary. We just remembered. And then he said, thanks, COVID. Yesterday was a pretty wild day. I was trying to think what's happened while I've been off, which is when I count this as being on vacation. I got an email from a reporter with the CBC, which if you're not Canadian, that's like our national news outlet, asking me if I wanted to do an interview on their national newscast and to talk about mental health and COVID. Oh, you're real dirty. Hold on, see if I can fix you in a, well, this light is right. Anyway, asking if I would do an interview for them to talk about mental health and COVID, because there were some new statistics that came out from the Canadian Mental Health Association. And so I did it. Of course I wasn't gonna say no, but I had less than half an hour to like fix this 4th day hair and put on some makeup and like make my office look national television appropriate. I'll put the link down below if you want to watch it. It's at about 7 minutes, like 17 and a half. It turned out really well. I was really proud of it. But that was just a random thing that happened. And sorry, let me just roll the windows up. It's probably a bit loud. We also, since I talked to you last, saw my book in 2 separate bookstores because it's always been for sale at Indigo, which is like Chapters and Kohl's, but it was finally in store once they opened after COVID, all the COVID stuff. And so we went on my birthday to Kohl's and we found it and I signed them all. And then a couple days ago, we went to Chapters, which is about an hour away. And I signed all those copies too. So that was a big deal. So if you're going to like Chapters and you see Finding Your Cape, take a selfie and send me a photo. You know, buy a copy if you'd like to, but put it out in front maybe on a table. We definitely left my copies on like a table. Which was exciting. It's been a good week. Look at this. This is so well set up. Look at this plexiglass with the wine glass shape. I'm very impressed.
Nice in the shade.
Mm-hmm. So nice. We have stopped for a little nosh before our next winery because we have about a half an hour. And I said this on my Insta story, but I just wanted to say it in the vlog. Mokojo is owned by Diane and her husband. Diane is a marathoner. And we bought one of each color, as she said. I got a Gewurz, a Rosé, and their Merlot. And I'm sure you could see in the clip, but they just had like their COVID safety restriction done so well with like the plexiglass, with the wine glass cut out and the social distancing. I don't know if you could tell, but we were in a gazebo like far away from everybody else. And I'm sure that took a lot of work. So I just wanted to say, good job.
It's amazing.
We got some pickles, some cheese, some Daya cheese. Look at this little, he did all this morning, but like before breakfast. We got pepperoni from the Very Good Butcher. And we're gonna make a little charcuterie sitch. Oh my God. You know, I love a pickle, piece of meat, piece of cheese, and a cracker. Look at that. Can you see that? I know it's really sunny. Thank you. Growing up here, I definitely take this for granted, but the unicorn just made mention of. We're seriously sitting right next to the grapes that the wine that we are drinking is produced from. Yeah, it's pretty spectacular. We've gotten to our next location, but they're running a little bit behind. So I just wanted to come over and take a moment with these sunflowers. It's so funny. I have never noticed, sorry, it is so bright. I try not to vlog with my sunglasses on. I've never noticed sunflowers, which now looking at it, I guess these ones are. I've never noticed sunflowers as much as I've noticed them this summer after getting my sunflower tattoo. If you missed that video, I got a tattoo on my ribs with my niece and my sister to celebrate her graduating high school. And I just see them all the time now. It's just so peaceful, so calming. Aaron and Elizabeth, thinking of you ladies right now. Oh, it's so nice and cold.
So this is a deep cut. I'm not sure if this will make it in, but this is what the redhead has gotten so far. Not too bad. A few wineries, a few bottles.
Welcome to Saturday, guys.
And now, as you can tell, I'm home. It is almost 6:30 and we've been back for a bit. We got dinner and now he's gone. If you don't know this, we don't live in the same city. We're in like a long distance relationship. So he was here for a few days and now he goes back to work. I think this stretch is 12 days, which is a real bummer, but I'm grateful for the time that we had together. And when he's not here, that's when I get to like, I usually just put in a lot of like work hours, which is nice, so that when he's here, we can do stuff like today. Like today's Friday, so I worked 3 hours this morning. Anyway, that's boring. We had a wonderful day. I think I mentioned it at some point, but I live in Canada's wine country, and so I'm very blessed that I could do a wine tour any day, any time. Like, it's definitely not something that I take for granted, and I try to do at least 2 a year, usually like the beginning of spring, and then I try and make sure that I stock up before winter. But because of COVID this year, this was the first time that we'd been to any winery, so it was like really special that he planned it, and everyone was very cautious and mindful, and I felt very safe. I would go back to any of those wineries, and then the cidery that we ended at, 100%. And now I think I'm just gonna watch some Queer Eye and relax. It was wild when I dropped Thomas off on Monday and I came home. That was the first time I had been home alone since February. And now here we are again. I might journal tonight or tomorrow. I find that I usually, when Thomas is gone or when I have extended respite, I usually have this feeling that I need to like get my life together and like reflect and think and plan and pivot and blah, blah, blah. And what's been nice is ever since I went to Palm Springs, which would have been 2018, I don't have that feeling anymore, which just gives me like reassurance that I'm okay and I'm doing a good job, which feels really good because parenting is hard and single parenting is hard. And I definitely don't always feel, you know, as all parents, we have struggles, and I'm making a very big life change next month. And so that's also a big thing. But what's been reassuring this week is that I haven't felt that feeling of like, okay, now I need to sit and journal and brain dump and figure stuff out like I used to do all the time before we lost Jeremy. All the time. If you read Finding Your Cape, you know this. So that feels really good. And I wanted to mention that today in case you're someone who's in that phase. You will eventually get to a place where you don't feel like you constantly need to be doing that. And it feels really good. So keep pushing. If you are, keep pivoting. You will get to a place where you're like, okay. Of course, there's like little things I need to constantly be doing and changing and planning. Like today, the unicorn and I had a pretty extensive conversation of like, what ifs, you know, what if Thomas goes back to school and then school is canceled and then he's home and then I can't just be with him all the time because I have commitments? Who do I call on? What do I do? What happens if I get sick? What happens if Thomas gets sick? All those kinds of things. But partly it is, I've put in so much work for so many years. I've been in therapy since 2014 and I've done EMDR specifically about parenting Thomas and having the confidence that I can as a single parent. So I think tonight I'm just gonna chill, and tomorrow get up, enjoy a nice quiet morning to myself. I'm meeting Thomas and his grandparents tomorrow at noon, and then he'll be home, and then he'll be back to regularly scheduled programming. So I hope you enjoyed this look at the wine tour. It was very different than normal. Normally we would rent a shuttle and there would be like, say, 10 of us or 6 of us. But it was really nice just to do it the 2 of us. It was so flipping sweet that he planned it out. I just texted him last week and said like, hey, we should have a date while you're here. And then 30 minutes later, he's like, boom, 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 here's all our reservations. This is what I've planned. And it was just, I feel very, very lucky. And now I have enough wine probably to get me through 2020. I mean, maybe not, because who knows with 2020, but enough wine to get me through. Actually, I think so, because it was all it's going down very nicely today. It was delicious. All right, I'm gonna watch some Queer Eye and just chill out. I might even just silence my phone. Hope you've enjoyed today. And let me know how you're doing. I'd love to know how you are, check in with you. It's wild. It is a wild year, but we are getting through it together, and I appreciate you and your support here on my channel and the Marathoner group, the podcast, Finding Your Cape, all the things. I will see you in the next video, and remember, life's not a sprint, it's a marathon. Take care. I'll see you soon.